And we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm guessing you guys saw the title, right? Vetting a woman for marriage. And the reason that I want to talk about that is so important, right? And Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's so important, right? But a lot of guys, especially in the manosphere, you know, I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of them are anti-marriage. And I think it's because um you don't know what to look for. Now, that's not to say that what I'm gonna share with you today, just a few points. It's not I don't know if you guys saw the description, it's gonna be a series of videos into that subject, vetting a woman. So yeah, so you have so you have, for instance, you have guys like what's his name, AMS, yeah, alpha male strategies, right? He talked about, he essentially says, all these women are hoes and stuff like that, blah blah blah. And yeah, that, I mean, I'm not gonna say that's all true, because it's not, right, obviously. But but to me, um it should be your game, right? Your game into picking up women and stuff like that, it should evolve over time, right? So think of it this way, like, for instance, maybe when you learning how to pick, when you don't know anything about girls, right? You're probably in, I don't know, middle school, right? I'm saying that those are the levels, not exactly you're in middle school. And then you knowing a little bit about female nature is probably I don't know, high school. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that at a certain point you're supposed to graduate to that, right? I don't get that. I don't get the, like, for instance, like I said, alpha male strategist. He It's almost like he wants you to be like a bachelor forever, right? It's like, no, dude, your game should evolve over time. At certain point, yeah, you shouldn't be looking at marriage, but as time goes on, you should look into that. So that's what we're going to talk about today, right? So, for instance, right, why, um, what for me, if I'm looking at a girl potentially, right, potentially, that I'm thinking about marriage with, right? So the first thing that I'm going to look at is her family, her background, right? If she comes from a background where her mom where her mom was a single mom, right? She didn't grow up in a two-parent household where both her parents was married to each other, right? To me, that's a red flag if that's not the case. Why is that? Right? So, one, she didn't grow up with a because the female, right? The first man she's supposed to love is her dad, right? If she grew up in an environment where, oh, she's constantly being told that men ain't shit, and or she's seeing that her her mom is constantly having boyfriends, because, as we know, once a female has a child, it's harder for that parent to find a mate, right, to get married again. If it And it's even worse if the mom was never married, right, if she's a single mom. So she grew up in that environment, and that's all she's used to, right? And she's not used to serving a man, let's say. She's not used to seeing her mom serving a man, right? Because kids, I mean, all of us was kid at once, right? So kids, it's, yeah, you could tell them, but when they see it, they're gonna most likely do what they see, versus being versus being told what to do, right? It's almost like, do as I say, not as I do, right? It's kids doesn't learn that way, right? So that's the biggest thing that I could tell you guys. If you guys don't anything from this, is this: if the woman doesn't come from a two-parent household where her parents was married. Now, I'm not even talking about, like, oh yeah, they're together and they were never married. No, they have to be married, right? That's point number one. So we talk about why. Hold on one sec. Yeah, we talk about why that's so important, right? And and yeah, and then after that, I would look at I would look into her dating history, right? So if let's say I ask, oh, like in the phase that we're getting to know each other, and I ask, I'm like, okay, what tell me about your previous relationship. Oh yeah, I was single for the past 2 years and stuff like that. I was taking my time, quote unquote, right? I just got out of a serious relationship, blah blah blah, and then now I'm taking my time, and then now I'm getting ready to get back out there. To me, that's a red flag. Why is that? You think unless she's a virgin, and let's be honest, most likely she's not, right? Not in 2022, right? Most likely. So let's go for that. I'll be generous. Let's go for the 95% of the time that most likely she's not going to be a virgin, right? It's probably higher than that. So you mean to tell me during those past 2 years you wasn't, having relations? You wasn't having adult relations with anybody else, right? Of course she was, but she doesn't see those as dating. It's probably one night stands, a guy that she knows. Oh, that's one thing that a lot of females does. You know what they do? They'll have a guy that they know that they'll just give the box to, and we know what the box is, right? They'll just give it to so that they could keep their body count low, right? And then now she wants you to wine and dine her, but that guy just get to, break her back for you for free, basically, right? Because she doesn't want her body count to go high. So to me, a woman that's wife material, sh- she's not gonna be one. She's not gonna be 30 and single, because women that are marriage minded, they get picked up like that. Because as soon as a guy sees that, they're like, "Oh, you're different," right? And that's another thing that I want to talk about is, okay, she's your girlfriend, right? She's your girlfriend, and then you're thinking about um marriage with her. Why do you even like her? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She make the sex is really good. Yeah, but that's not enough. That's not a good enough reason. Why do you like her? Think of it as a job, right? I don't know if you guys have ever been in a position where you've had to hire or fired someone, right? Um, marrying her, or even putting her in the zone where she's like she's wifey, she's serious girlfriend material, right? Why? You promoting her. If when you're in a job, when you're getting promoted, you have to do something extraordinary, right? A lot of guys, they're promoting females just because they're doing their job. At a job, and you don't get promoted for just doing your job. That's what you get paid for. She's your girlfriend. She's your girl, quote unquote, because she's doing her job. Whatever it is, whatever job you you give her, she's just doing that. If she's just doing the bare minimum, she's not doing enough to get promoted, but also she's also doing enough not to get fired. So she shouldn't get promoted because of that. And some guys will do that, and that I don't get at all. And no wonder a lot of you guys are like, "Oh, f these females," because you guys are choosing wrong. Oh, she got a fatty. Oh, look at that. Yeah, really. And also, depending on where you met her at, right? Are you seriously gonna tell me you're gonna look for a wife and you're gonna go to the club? No, wife material females, most likely they're not gonna be at the club, right? probably in the library, probably at work. That's a good one. At work, right? I mean, if you, I mean, like the new, hey, like you see the new intern coming in, yeah, and she's, she doesn't have any tattoos. She doesn't dress too revealing. What's the code? I think there's like a code, like if you show like the top, the bottom is closed, or if you showing legs and then there's no cleavage, kind of like that. That's how she's supposed to dress. But if a female that dresses too sexy or too revealing, she's basically saying that's all she's bringing to the table, right? That's why a lot of guys that cloud their judgment, right? Again, that's why you shouldn't promote someone, you shouldn't wife up someone just because she's doing the bare minimum, just because she's, you know, that's fun girl territory, right? If she's because she does that little thing that she does with her tongue, or in the bedroom, whatever. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's cool. But you got to remember, most of the time, you're not. I mean, I'm married now. The vast majority of the time, me and my wife, it's tedious stuff that we're dealing with each other, with each other. We're not smashing all the time. So if you're just marrying her for just smashing, no, you're gonna regret that. That's why no wonder you guys are saying there's no good females out there. All right. Oh, she got a fatty. Yeah, that's good. She got a fatty that's good to look at. I mean, yes. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying don't smash those. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying don't wife those. You don't have to wife them up to smash if that's what you really want. But when you're going into looking for a wife, that's something else, right? And another thing, oh, this is a big one right here. She got a lot of girlfriends, and especially if they're single too, right? What most females now, they're like, oh, I'm not giving up my girlfriends for a man. It's like, what? You do realize you could make new friends, right? Ain't nobody gonna want to deal with your bald head, right? So, so yeah, if she's way into her friends more than she's into you, that's a big red flag. She's always gonna take up for her friends. Kevin Samuels have talked about that. You know, she's they she will always choose her friends over you, and that's someone that you don't want. So she's basically saying, I mean, could you imagine if that person is choosing her her girlfriends over her kids, right? Potentially, that's what she's saying. Because what if that was the guy? Like, I'm talking to the females now. What if that was the guy for you, and you was meant to have 4 kids with that person, right? And now you give that up for your girlfriends that 2 weeks from now or a year from now, you probably not gonna be. She's not gonna be your friend. She's probably gonna fuck the next guy that you with. So you just threw that away for just a friend. You could make it's far easier to make new friends versus finding a mate, right? So that's why the Bible says, yeah, right. It's the Bible who says, he who find a wife finds a good thing. So yeah, guys, it's not. I get it, but you got to be ready. Yes, I get it. But I'm just giving you. There's ways. There's things that, this is just basic stuff, at least to me, that you should look out for. Oh, I'll give you guys a bonus one. Tattoos, and specifically on the ankle, like any foot. area tattoos, and this one, it's from experience. I've never had one that had leg tattoo, ankle tattoos, and then that, that wasn't that was wife, let's just say wife material, right? That's like the opposite of wife material. All of them, and I'm not saying all girls that I've met had a leg that was like that had a leg tattoo, but all the girls that had leg tattoos was like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is, right? I don't know. There's no science behind it. I don't have any data. It's just from my experience. Right. And I am gonna be doing a show, and that was supposed to be my first show that I was supposed to do, showing you why the benefit of being married as a man. And I know there's negatives, right? But that's why you gotta vet the woman first, right? And especially I'll give you guys a little preview, a little benefit that goes into marriage, is that if the, like, let's say if she comes from a two-parent household, right? Two birth parent household, and her both of them were married, right? So let's say you graduating out of school, right? And then the dad has connections, right? Let's say you wanted to go to, I don't know, I'm just making up something. You wanted to go into broadcasting, right? And her dad has some connection in that field, knows someone that knows someone. So right off the bat, you're getting an advantage. She's bringing value, although it's not her directly, but indirectly it's her. It's her parents. It's her dad. Oh, I forgot to put that anyway. Yeah. So right off the bat, that's a benefit. And I'm gonna tell you guys, married men earn more. We're gonna talk about that. And I know in this space, a lot of the guys are like, "Oh, focus on your money and stuff like that." Yeah, that's great, but the data doesn't support that, and I'm gonna have data to back it up. Married men are the one that leaves legacy, right? Especially if you want kids, right? The data shows that married parent children that comes up from a two-parent household where their parents are married is they do far better, right? So 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 yeah, if you want to leave legacy, how are you going to leave a legacy when when your child is by far the to do the worst, right? So let me see. Oh, I got a question. Okay. It says what's one with girls have tattoos? Listen, the ankle tattoo thing, um I like I said, I don't have any specific data for that, but for whatever reason those girls always been freaks. Seriously. Always have. And also me, I don't have any tattoos. Me as a man, I don't have any tattoos. And I'm not against, like, if a girl has like a little tattoo here and there and stuff like that, but I don't like sleeve. That's, to me, that's too manly. That's too masculine, right? I don't. To me, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, we'll have fun, but I'm not gonna take you to meet the parent. I'm not gonna bring you to a company dinner or something like that, and then you have tattoos and stuff like that. No, especially if they're like your arms and stuff like that, like revealing, and you have more than one. It's not something small. So yeah, but the ankle tattoo thing. Look, trust me. Just like I said, I don't have any data for that. But the ankle tattoo thing, just do an experiment or think back, whatever leg, any part of the leg, like from here to like all the way to the ankle. I don't know why, but yeah, that's a great question. Let me see if I could. If anyone want to come up, I'll drop the link, and if you guys want to come up and have questions, and then we could go back and forth, even if you agree or disagree. Okay, that's not a problem. Yeah. So even if you do disagree and saying that, oh, no, you should be focusing on your money and don't get married and stuff like that, fine, that's not a problem. But the data just doesn't support that, especially if you want to live a certain lifestyle. And I am gonna talk about the type of guys that to me, I don't think it's worth getting married in 2022, but that's not most people though. Most guys wouldn't fall under that because most people want to have kids. So if you want to have kids, marriage is the best way to go, because otherwise if you want to have kids but you don't want to get married, you're just creating the cycle, because everybody know baby mamas aren't good. Under no circumstances I'll tell um I'll recommend someone to get married to a single mom, right? So if that's the case, then you're just creating the cycle, because you're gonna have, you're gonna have a kid, and then now you're gonna make her a baby mama when you don't want to be with her, right? You don't want to be with her. So I think that's why I'm pro marriage, especially if you want to have kids. Now, if you don't want to have kids and then you're not working in corporate America, to me, I don't think it's worth it. And that's another thing too, because if you do work for a Fortune 500 company and you want to climb up the ladder, right? Most like look next time you go to work, or if you don't work in a Fortune 500 company or Fortune 2000 company, think back. Your boss or his boss, was he married? Most likely he was, right? Why is that? All right, because I'll like I said, I'll do a show about that one too. But it's most likely because you don't seem reliable, right? That's one. You're not reliable. It's like, wow, this guy's out there. He's just partying, right? Like he's still not over that phase. So if you're just out there partying, are you gonna show up tomorrow, right? So the married guys, for whatever reason, we just seems more dependable, more reliable, right? And especially in today's day and age, right? If you're 40, you never been married, no nothing, they're gonna like, "Mhm. What's wrong with Jeff? Yeah, he's 45 and he's never been married. Really? I mean, it's 2020, it's 2022. Like, you could come out of the closet, right? I mean, I'm not. That's what they're gonna think. That's what a lot of people are gonna think, right? And another thing is that, hey, they may not even trust you with their wives, right? It's like, oh, he's this playboy guy. Like, no. And also there are certain company functions, especially when you start climbing up, when you when the execs takes like their holidays or whatever, like they bring their wives. So you don't have any wives to bring? And we're like, okay, just stay. Now, I'm not saying there is not people who's not capable of it, right? They are. So at what age should a man get married? That's a good question. Now, it just depends. It just depends on you. For me, what I would recommend, I for me, I got married at 20. Yeah, I got married at, okay, so at what age should a man get married? I think a man should probably get married around to 35 to 40, because what is it that they said? Um at 30, that's when you should be establishing yourself, right? So 35 to 40, that's a good range that I would recommend for someone to get married. Yeah. So So yeah, that is a good question, because most likely at that time you should already, starting to get established in whatever it is that you do in your career or whatever. And then, go, I would say if you're 35 and you're getting married, um and for girls, for girls, if they want to get married, if females want to get married, it's got to be early on, because as men we don't have clocks, right? We don't have that biological clock. So I would think for a female, I would really recommend from 20 to 24, right? That's when I think, I'll look into that, but I did read a study that says that most men find female most attractive from 19 till 23, right? Doesn't matter age, race of the guy. That's the I guess that's the female beauty peak, you could say. Yeah. So it's different. So it's different, for men and women. And I know women are like, oh, it's not fair, it's not fair. But life is not fair, right? I mean, look at you. You sitting right now in your home and watching me, and in Ukraine right now, someone is getting bombed, right? So is that fair to them? Is that fair to them? No. So yeah, that's what I would say in regards to that. But yeah, guys, that's what I would say. Marriage, especially in the Black community, we need more marriage, right? And I am gonna have I'm probably most likely gonna want to do this show tomorrow. There Now, I don't want to say there is a direct correlation, but if you look at the race that's most likely to get married, it's Asians, and they make the most. The second um race group that's most likely to get married is white, and they make the second most. The bottom, and economically, that's both men and women, is black men, and we're the most likely to get married, right? Black men and black women. So yeah, and yeah, there's more to it. Oh shoot, hold on, my camera. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, my camera. I don't know. But yeah, if anyone have a question or want to come up, I'll be more than happy to answer it. But yeah, I was just giving you a tease for this show, and I am gonna make this ongoing thing. The things that as men you should be looking for. All right, thank you guys. Yeah, it's just getting too hot. I don't know.